He's a two-time Pac-10 Coach of the Year. Now he's in the Pac-12 for the 9th-ranked UCLA Bruins, getting set to go to the 10th-ranked Oregon Ducks, and he knows all about that program as well. Here on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line is the head coach of UCLA football, Chip Kelly. How are you, Coach?
I'm doing great, Rich. Excited about the game this weekend.
I bet you are. I mean, what goes through your mind going back to Oregon with a top 10 team that's not Oregon? What do you think?
Yeah, I think a lot's probably made out of going back there. But this is our third time back there in 5 years. So,
Yes.
Kind of been there, done that. What really gets your attention is how good a team Oregon is. They lost in the opening game to Georgia, but they've really rebounded since then. And so, when you get a chance to have a number 9 play number 10, it should be the game of the weekend.
Well, I that's why I prefaced my comment by saying about going back there with a 9th-ranked team. That's new for you there, right? I mean, for you to go back with a team like this one.
Yeah, we've been building this for a while here. Because of COVID, we've got a lot of continuity, and a lot of kids have been here. There's a lot of players that were there 5 years ago that are still with us now. So we hope our experience is beneficial to us, in heading back up there.
Let's talk about your team, and then obviously we know it's a quarterback-driven sport. This kid, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, is getting a lot of talk for Heisman, and I'm wondering what you see in this young man that has blossomed in his 5th year here with you.
Yeah. First and foremost is just his toughness, and I don't think people really equate toughness with quarterback play, but the best quarterbacks that have ever played the game are the toughest guys. For someone to stand in there and throw the ball knowing that a 300-pound guy is going to hit him and not flinch there's not a lot of people that can do it. And the best quarterbacks at every level, I would say you really admire their toughness. And that's what stands out with Dorian. He's just a tough kid, both mentally and physically. And so his ability to face adversity, whether it be physical adversity or mental adversity, and come out better from it is just such an admirable quality. And you love coaching him. He's a student of the game. He wants to get better every day. He wants to be coached hard. He's just so awesome to work with. And when he decided to come back for his 5th year, we were all excited here.
So how has he gotten better? Can you give me an example over the first 6 games?
I think just the nuances of the game, and I think really understanding, because he is such a dynamic player, that he doesn't have to make it happen all the time. He can let it happen, and then sometimes throwing the check down is better than scrambling around. We scramble around and then maybe an old lineman holds, and now we're behind the stakes. He's really kept us on schedule. He's really being smart on 1st and 2nd down with everything that he does to put us in advantageous and 3rd down situations. It's just that maturity. Sometimes you see the rookie quarterback in the NFL trying to do way too much, and then once they kind of find the speed of the game, they settle down and they start to really blossom in year 3 and year 4, and that's what we're seeing here. The cool part about it is that, he's had an opportunity. It's year 5 here, but he's played in all 5 years. It's not like he sat for 2 or 3 years and was watching. He's got a ton of game reps underneath his belt, and I think he can use those experiences and reflect back on them to help him make really, really good decisions, and that's what he's doing right now.
You're going to have a busy pro day with him, I imagine, right? I mean, I know we're going way down the road here, but you just mentioned NFL quarterbacks, right? Would you say? Got a lot of interest?
And you said it earlier, quarterback is the position in this sport, so everybody's looking for him, and I think Dorian coming back has put himself in really good shape, when it comes to postseason stuff and draft and whatnot.
Chip Kelly here on the Rich Eisen Show. You know what a championship college football team looks like. Do you think you got one right there, Chip? What do you think?
Yeah, and I think the cool part about if you think you got one, you really understand that each week is a season, and you got to focus and concentrate just on that week. We tell our guys, we'll pick our heads up in December and see where we are. And I think it's about being consistent over the course of time. There can't be highs and lows. There can't be, hey, we played really good against this team, but we didn't play that well the next time we had a chance to go play. So it's that consistent behavior that you have to do it day in and day out, week in and week out. And that's what makes me think that this team is special, because up until today, they've been that way every day. has been really good, and they continue to stack good days on top of good days, and that's what good teams do.
Do you have to temper your kids? Nick Saban calls it rat poison when things are like, I guess Rose Bowl petals get thrown at your feet. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't disagree with Nick, and if you're in that situation, we have not gotten to that point yet.
Okay.
We were an underdog against Washington. Then we were the underdog against Utah. We're the underdog this week against Oregon. So I don't think we're throwing our arms out of our socket, patting ourselves on the back right now. We know the challenges that we face because we've faced. This will be the third straight ranked team that we played, and that's what our sole focus and attention is on.
Chip Kelly here on the Rich Eisen Show, head coach of UCLA football. You've been able to call yourself a lot of things, Chip Kelly. For instance, running backs coach for New Hampshire, defensive coordinator for Johns Hopkins, Oregon head football coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers. Now, did you ever think you'd be able to refer to yourself as a Big Ten coach, Big Ten football coach? You ever think that was possible?
I did not. That was.
How about that?
I found out about an hour before that happened, and that was not anything that was on my radar. So,
really, an hour before that's the heads up you got was like, hey, we're going to the Big Ten. That?
Well, I was told there was going to be a vote.
Okay.
I got a call from our AD.
Yep.
I was actually playing golf with Ryan Day, and we were both back in New Hampshire, and had a text from the AD and a call from the AD that I missed because my phone was in my bag. Then I had a call from the assistant AD and a text from the assistant AD. And normally as a head coach, you think, what happened? Did somebody do something wrong?
Right.
What's the issue? So I'm like, hey, I got a call back. And I was told, in an hour there's going to be a vote that we're going to become a member of the Big Ten and make sure you don't tell anybody. And I said, well, I'm actually playing with a head coach in the Big Ten right now. Like, what do I say?
And not just any head coach, not just any Big Ten head coach either.
No, so it was funny because I found out on 14. By the time we got to 16, he just kind of looked at me and smiled, and our phones were both blowing up. And if someone tells me to do something, I do it. So I didn't say anything until we got to the clubhouse, and then everybody wanted to know what's going on. And I was like, I guess we're going to the Big Ten. But my point for the whole thing was when I talked to our AD, I said, when is this going to happen? And he said, in 2 years. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's an eternity in athletics. So, our focus is this team this year. And, in 2024, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Then we'll be in that league. But right now, our concentration and focus is on the 22 season.
So I'm fascinated by this story, Chip Kelly. So did Ryan, was he told by, I guess, Gene Smith, right?
I don't know who Ryan exactly found out because I think media people were calling everybody.
I bet. I bet.
We live right next to each other in New Hampshire. So his wife was there, my wife was there, and they all kind of like, what's going on? And I just said, I don't know.
I guess we're going to be on each other's schedule every year starting in 2024. Yeah.
We just hope in 2024 we're both at the same place.
I think that's highly likely, Chip Kelly. But it is just amazing.
I may be an assistant on his staff by
Chip Kelly, you're a card, man. But I'll tell you what, it is just wild to think that this is Big Ten country, and you have your home games in the spot that is the crown jewel of where Big Ten teams want to wind up, or in the many, many years have wanted to wind up. I mean, you're there. It's wild that
it's the Mecca.
This is happening right now, and the Rose Bowl. So what I guess, again, I know I'm asking this guy before he goes to Oregon, play 9 versus 10, but how do you envision a Big Ten, enhancing what you do and what you're building at UCLA, Chip?
Yeah, I think the opportunities that the league offers you exposure-wise, obviously the TV contract and what that can do for what the services you can provide for your student athletes is outstanding. And then, as you know, and I know you're a proud Big Ten alum yourself,
yes,
but if Michigan's going to open up on September 15th in the Rose Bowl, there's going to be a lot of blue in that stadium, and it's not all going to be light blue. So I think the fact that there's so many Big Ten people that you meet that are out here now, the fact that they don't have to get on a plane and travel to the Midwest to go see a game, that they're going to get an opportunity to Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State, all of them are going to get a chance to play here, is a pretty cool deal, and it's such a storied tradition to say, UCLA and USC are in the same conference as Michigan, Ohio State. It's, I would imagine if someone went to a desert island and was away for 3 or 4 years and then came back and went like, what happened? Like, what?
Yeah.
I think they would be, I just think of that sign that in the movie with Tom Hanks when he got on the desert island and came back and couldn't figure out why the Houston Oilers were in Tennessee.
That's right.
He's like, we have a football team now?
That's right.
I think if that happens and someone comes back and says, wait a second, UCLA is leading the Big Ten and with 3 games to go in the regular season, what's going on here?
Yeah, I know. I was talking to volleyballs when I found out the news, too. I mean, it really is weird, Chip, Kelly. There's no question about that, And I had Martin Jarman in studio, you're the athletic director of UCLA, and I asked him, do you have any cold weather gear? Like, do you guys have cold weather gear? Like this is the sort of stuff you got to think about, like
questions you got to think about. I still got stuff from New Hampshire, so I'm okay.
Oh, you got that. You got that all covered.
We got that.
By the way, I told him that if you get one of those winter lids, you can call it an 8 cap for UCLA. So I want.
Like that.
Okay.
I'll give you credit. I will use that. I'm going to use that again, but I'll make sure I give you credit.
I appreciate that. So cap. Yes, when you put an 8 cap on, just think of me when that happens in 2024 and beyond. But in the meantime, good luck against Oregon, and let's do this more often. Congrats on the nice 6-0 start, first one since 2005 for the program, and we'll chat down the line. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thanks for having me on, Rich. I appreciate it.
Right back at you. Head football coach of UCLA, Chip Kelly, right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.